Unless we take action on this, innocent children will continue to harm themselves.
Right now at 6 o'clock, a Connecticut teenager in the hospital after being accidentally shot. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin will join us in Watertown with what we know so far.
And new laws taking effect here in Connecticut. We're going to break down what they are and how they're going to impact you. Also,
it is now National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Ahead, we're going to take a look at how our state is working to make a difference with the issue.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock Monday morning. Good morning to you. Thanks for choosing the Fox 61 News at 6 America Areas.
And I'm Tim Lambers. Good morning. We hope you had a good weekend. The weather was great as we get over to meteorologist Matt Scott. I'm not saying it was swimming weather. My son did in 64-degree temperatures.
You know why?
You know, we got outside.
You know why?
Because
boys.
Because boys, yeah.
That's right. Listen, we do have swimming weather on tap. A little taste of summer back in the cards today. Good morning to you. October 2nd, hard to believe. Sunshine holding on. Got it yesterday. Going to hang out for a little bit, and the numbers are going to reflect that down the line. Here's the radar picture. Nothing going on. You got a flow, dry flow out of the north. Fairly comfortable out there. Once we burnt off the last of the clouds yesterday, we were in smooth sailing mode, and that's where we are now. 51 to 64 out there. There's a couple of 61s on our big board. Bridgeport, Waterbury, Windsor Locks. There's your big 64, New Haven. Temperatures on the way up to the mid-70s. Sunshine beginning to end, and really nothing at all to worry about. Certainly some good news. We'll talk about that in detail coming up in just a moment. Why am I going so slow? Rachel?
I lost my clicker. I can't find it. But I'm here.
I'm like, Rachel's going to be here.
Yeah, she's coming.
Yeah, there she is.
Yeah, I lost it. I don't know where it is.
I'll go press your buttons.
That's okay. That's all right. I'll just ad lib. We only have one crash to talk about right now, and that's going to be over in Fairfield, the southbound 95, out by exit 21 and 22. This is involving two vehicles, so we do have the right lane that is blocked at the moment, so that is going to cause some delays for your travels on that southbound side of 91. Had some earlier road work in Waterbury. That has wrapped up for your morning commute, and also out in Milford too. That has wrapped up. It's by my desk. I know they're trying to find it for me, but that's okay. Other than that, though, that's the only incident you have to worry about. Other delays are not out there this morning, guys. We'll send things back over to you. Sorry.
Rachel, thanks. A 14-year-old Watertown boy is in the hospital this morning after police say he accidentally shot himself.
And this happened on the same weekend that new laws took effect that are trying to prevent such things from happening. Let's get out to Fox 61's Brooke Griffin. She is live in Watertown with the details on what happened. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. Right now, Watertown police say no charges have been filed in this case, but they are actively investigating how that boy even got access to a gun in the home in the first place. Watertown police say on Saturday afternoon that 14-year-old boy accidentally shot himself in the head. He is recovering in the hospital this morning. The shooting happened just one day before the state's updated safe storage gun measures took effect. It requires people to secure guns safely in a home, no matter the ages of the people who live there. This law builds on to what's called Ethan's Law, which was passed in 2019. That law mandated guns be stored safely when specifically a child lives in the house. Lawmakers and advocates say it's time people are held responsible for how they choose to store a firearm when it's not in use. Kristen Song's son was accidentally killed back in 2018. She says that this is a pain she doesn't want any other parent to experience.
And unfortunately, on that day, his friend had loaded the gun on a prior occasion and didn't realize that a bullet can get caught in the chamber. And unfortunately, my son was the one who paid the price.
And she had a couple of suggestions for people who may have guns in their home on how to store them. She said that a safe with some sort of combination code or maybe even just a key that you can keep hidden somewhere is the best way to go. That way nobody accidentally gets hurt or killed. Live in Watertown, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Brooke, thank you for that report. It is 6:04. Of course, Congress did pass a short-term funding plan for the federal government, but that doesn't mean the clock isn't still ticking.
Now, the good news here is that lawmakers reached a deal to buy themselves about 6 more weeks to work on a long-term spending plan. Congress passed a plan to keep the government open for 45 days. They got the bill to the president late Saturday night, just minutes before the shutdown would have happened. Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy relied on Democratic votes to get the bill passed through the chamber. Republicans wanted to make steep budget cuts and remove funding for Ukraine, something Democrats and some Senate Republicans were against. Now, ultimately, the funding levels remained flat for government agencies, but the Ukraine money was cut. Former President Donald Trump is expected to be in court today for the start of his civil trial in New York. The Attorney General filed a lawsuit accusing Trump and his business of lying about his wealth and financial statements. A judge has already ruled that Trump committed fraud. Trump says he's going to be in court to fight for his name and his reputation. .06 now, and the start of the new month means Connecticut has new laws on the books.
Yeah, they cover a wide range of subjects. Brooke just mentioned one of the new gun laws in her report. Another deals with wrong-way driving. The Connecticut Department of Transportation is now required to install wrong-way driving detection and notification systems. They're going on at least 120 highway exit ramps that are considered the most at risk for wrong-way drivers. Officials hope the systems will stop what's been a growing problem in our state.
So those are the lights that are on off ramps. We've also put something called inlaid pavement markers. So little grooves in the pavement. If you're heading in the wrong direction, they glow back to you red.
The State Department of Transportation will also pilot some real-time police notifications. They will send an alert directly to state police to see if they can intercept any wrong-way drivers.
Connecticut's Health Insurance Exchange Access Health CT will now have a special enrollment period for people who lose their employer-sponsored health benefits due to a labor dispute. Now, the Act says that while labor dispute is not defined, it presumably includes lockout and strike. Under current law, the exchange must have enrollment periods that are required under the Federal Affordable Care Act. And another new law put into effect is the protection of minors. The law states that anyone who's 25 or older can be found guilty of this crime when they use online or text messaging to knowingly persuade, induce, entice, or coerce a minor to share pictures. Now, the person will also be found guilty for using messaging to communicate with a child to maintain an inappropriate relationship with them. This Wednesday, smartphones all across the country are going to get an emergency alert test. The federal government will send a signal to your cell phone at 2:20 in the afternoon. It's going to be an electronic tone that will hit cell phones, TVs, and radios. Now, the idea is to test the nationwide emergency alert system. For the first time in over 3 years, Americans now have to resume their federal student loan payments. The federal government halted the payments in the early days of the pandemic when many people couldn't work. The Education Department says borrowers should receive some type of billing statement at least 3 weeks before their first payment is due.
Police in Middletown are looking into a crash at a busy intersection. It happened just after 7 yesterday morning at Main and Washington Streets. Thankfully, police said there were no serious injuries. They said the driver of a red car ran a red light and smashed into a white pickup truck. Both vehicles, as you could see, had heavy damage. The New London Fire Department is still investigating a fire at a gas station that happened just before 10 o'clock Sunday morning. Firefighters said they encountered heavy smoke and flames inside the Best Way gas station and convenience store on William Street. Crews were able to put the fire out in about 15 minutes. Unfortunately, there's no reports that anyone was hurt. At 6:09, we have new details this morning regarding the arrest of a fugitive who is wanted by both Glastonbury police and state troopers. The suspect here, Patrick Hemingway, is a former police officer who served in Glastonbury as well as New Britain. Police said Hemingway illegally accessed the state's criminal database. Troopers did arrest him Thursday in New Jersey. He's currently being held on a bond of $1 million. Well, October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
It was first observed back in 1981 as a national day of unity Domestic Violence Awareness unites advocates, survivors, and community members for them all to come together in an effort to end domestic violence. Now, in New Haven, U.S. Senators Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal are going to join BH Care to talk about legislation to provide better safeguards for survivors. Now, one of those efforts is a bipartisan measure to prevent convicted domestic abusers from buying or owning guns. In Hartford, leaders of Interval House are going to talk about a new partnership with the city aimed at promoting healthy relationships among kids. They say domestic violence is a public health crisis across the state. Well, if you or someone you know is in need of help, the domestic violence hotline is available 24/7. You can text START to 88788 or call the number on your screen right there. It's 1-800-799-7233.